You are welcome back to African Colonization TV and Biafran History. The thing that is going on in Nigeria right now, it is very very obvious that the Tinubu self, you don't even know if he's the one that is ruling Nigeria or if it is another person, because as it is, he's in a very big pressure. The world, the UN, the international body, they are pressuring him. They are on his head, mostly the America, the US, Donald Trump. So as it is now, you don't even know what he's doing. You don't even know. Just yesterday, the US, they start to go deep into his issue of his drug and the not drug. This time, the Mike Arnold, he came out, in fact, this week, start exposing him, saying a lot of things concerning him, concerning the Tinubu government and those that are sponsoring terrorists. So, and then as it is now, everything is now bubbling, going higher every day. So, according to the headline, it says Tinubu under pressure to withhold Nnamdi Kanu, who really wrongs Nigeria. So, he's under pressure. The issue of still holding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the people that is running Nigeria. So nobody understand what is really going on in Nigeria. Nobody understand. I would like you to watch the video to the end for you to watch and see things that is going on in this country called Nigeria, and how the government is being failed. God, because you can call it a failed state or a failed government, because all the old thing he promised, everything he said, and everything is chasing, all of them is known as failure. Is known as failure. So they are just trying to see who and who that will manage Nigeria for them. That is why you are seeing everywhere people, they are clamoring for Obi. Some people, they are saying that division is the best, while some people, they are clamoring for restructuring and state policing. This time it is another means of clamoring. In fact, don't skip any part. As you're about to watch, like, subscribe, and share it for everyone to see things going on in Nigeria. Oh yes, you are welcome back to today's powerful broadcast. According to what is going on right now in Biafra land and in Nigeria, so both this issue of terrorism, repentant Boko Haram, and chasing away ESN and Biafra Liberation Army all over the southeast. In fact, it is causing a lot of go through and a lot of talk. So as it is now, this Biafran activist, he has now reported UN, AU, US, and other world powers against what is happening right now in Biafra land. So according to the headline, it says Biafran activists reporting Nigeria army to UN, AU, US, and ICC over the killings of Biafrans in homeland. Already, some people, they used to call this man Mazi Nnamdi Kanu Second, and they used to refer him as Mazi Nnamdi Kanu due to his voice, his action, and the way he used to speak out boldly without fear and without intimidation. So that is why many people used to refer him as Mazi Nnamdi Kanu Second. So as it is, he has now come out reporting Nigerian army to the world and large, and to telling everybody the thing, the atrocity, the evil that the Nigerian soldiers, they are committing in Biafra land, without looking into what is happening in the northeast, north central, and in the west, but trooping their soldier down to the east just for them to fight those who is agitating for their freedom and those who is against the Fulani terrorists that is coming in to buy a lot of people in the land. And in fact, they are having their support with the help of the southeast governors and the southeast senators. That is where they used to have their backup with, because whenever they are coming, the soldiers is coming, the people that used to sign them in must be the governors, the senators, and those who represent the Igbo land as representatives. So that is what is there. As it is now, he has now come out reporting them all over the world for them to take notice and for them to take action against what is really happening in the southeast. So I will allow you to watch it for you to see by yourself. Don't skip any part of it. Make sure you watch it to the end. As you're about to watch it, like, subscribe, and share it for everyone to see things going on in Biafra land.
Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the Sultan of Sokoto and Ahmed Gumi. These are your president and your vice president. Remember,
when I say Biafra order, then I'll keep pushing. Either I am alive, I die in the process, I won't stop. Allow me to repeat, if you don't mind.
If Tinubu dies today and he was shot, if the person is from Hausa or the person is from Igbo, regardless of the person's intention and the goodwill, it will always be perceived that this person has shortened the administration of a Yoruba man. Nobody will see it from the perspective that he actually meant well for Nigeria. Nigeria needs revolution. You see,
remember, Sultan of Sokoto served in Afghanistan's this thing. He was former ambassador from Nigeria to Afghanistan. Go and verify this thing. So Sultan of Sokoto has a very strong connection with the Muslim Caliphate all over the world. So Sultan of Sokoto is the president of Nigeria as we speak.
The Boko Haram terrorist has given the government of Nigeria 72 hours to pay ransom of 416 people they adopted in Borno State, mostly women and their children. That's what they are saying here today, being the 20th of April 2026. But do you know what? Before I let you watch this video, they are going to pay the money. Yeah, they are going to pay the money. And if...
Now, is there anything that can happen that will make you change your mind about this particular direction?
No.
So it is either Biafra or nothing else.
Or death.
Or death.
That's correct.
If
place that you think that you are, we will bring you down. After jailing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, bring him to Sokoto so that we will reduce him to nothing. Before time passes, people will forget about him.
This is the beginning of dismantling a government led by a mafioso.
You remember when Gumi came out and said, if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu can denounce Biafra, that they will forgive him, he will forgive him. Remember, he said something like that. They want to Islamize your country called Nigeria. They want to Islamize that country.
Nigeria matter as it is now, it don't tie better rapper, it don't tie rapper, wear shoe. It be like Abada way hang for barbed wire. In fact, Abada way hang for barbed wire, it better pass the situation Nigeria there now. Because no be a small thing. People are even, giving analysis now. Just analysis of what if this thing happens like this in 2027 or the other way. That even if Obi enters there as is being perceived now, that if Obi entered there, that to fight terrorism will not even work. And that thing, look at it very well. That's why people are calling for division. They say even if Obi enter there now, the way they are seeing it, that they will not even allow Obi to fight terrorism. But there is good news for them. Yes. What Nnamdi Kanu said, I will still show you what Nnamdi Kanu said concerning what is happening in Nigeria. Nigerians wake up too late in that regards. That's why I said, when the chicken is laughing at the ram during Salah, make you remember say Christmas they come. That's how the thing be. When these things happen in the north, people kept quiet, nobody bothered a lot. Though there is there because person where shit the worry and I go first come out say where I go shit before somebody go help him. Go where I go shit for night. So when I saw the thing be, there is a terrible.
This global conspiracy, it is not only the Nigeria that we are facing. We are facing some very tough and powerful international bodies. Some countries. Now, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came and started preaching Biafra to us. We don't know what he was talking about. We never knew what he was talking about. We didn't even know how bad Nigeria has decayed. We thought we were in a country that, had our interests at heart. We didn't know we were, being run by terrorists. Now, I'm going to tell you for free. Tinubu and his cohorts does not have power to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. This drug lord you see has no power in releasing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And I'm going to tell you this for free. Now, the people holding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the Sultan of Sokoto and Ahmed Gumi. These are your president and your vice president. Remember, they must front these people so that they will be behind doing evil. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not even at the mercy. The only people that can release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is Sultan of Sokoto. That's why they jailed Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and took him to Sokoto so that people can forget him and show that dominance, the power of dominance, you know. So these are your presidents, these are your these are the people ruling Nigeria, ruling you in Nigeria, and I'm telling you for free. Now, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was not carrying any act of terrorism. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was preaching peace, and the Nigerian government came for him. Why? Not because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu wanted good things for himself and for other people. Just because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has preached division. And preaching of division, he has laid emphasis on how good governance should be run. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu gave Nigeria 5-point agenda on what is going to do, on what they're going to do for Southeast. Remember, when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu started this agitation, he never started with he never started with Biafra. He started by, I have 5-point agenda. What you are going to do for my people? Number one, you must create a seaport. You must give us good road. You must give us good hospital. You must give us good school. You must give us jobs in the whole of the Southeast, and so that we can be inclusive in your government. When you go to the government today, as we speak, there is no place that you find an Igbo man being in a very sensitive position in Nigerian government. That is the simple truth. So Tinubu and the northern, which is Sultan of Sokoto, because that is where the main power is. You know, remember, Sultan of Sokoto served in Afghanistan's this thing. He was former ambassador from Nigeria to Afghanistan. Go and verify this thing. So Sultan of Sokoto has a very strong connection with the Muslim Caliphate all over the world. So Sultan of Sokoto is the president of Nigeria as we speak. Now, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was not preaching, the only thing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was preaching was togetherness and the freedom of his own people by making sure we are inclusive in the government of Nigeria. What did they do? They sent the same Igbo governors. They gave them more money, because I continue to tell you that the only thing Nigeria has is gun and bullets and money to bribe. They don't have that. They don't use that law that you see. They don't use that their constitution, because Nigeria was never a sovereign nation. Now, when this continued, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu decided, okay, I'm going to pull out and then start fighting for Biafra. And when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu started fighting for Biafra, they tried to threaten him, they tried to subdue him, they tried to do all kind of, you know, intimidating things to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu refuses to succumb to their pressure. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu believed that I will free our people. Me, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, will free Biafrans. And they never liked it. And they went and started looking for how to unalive Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Now, when this failed in unaliving Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu decided that, okay, whether Nigeria likes it or not, I will stand and declare Biafra and get this nation of Biafra. So now, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu started his fight from Nigeria. Before Nigerian government placed Operation Python dance in his house and went to execute Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in his house. And this was where we were hitting brick walls. When Mazi Nnamdi Kanu ran away from Nigeria to Israel, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu actually wrote to UN. And we have this woman called Amina Mohammed. This Amina Mohammed is one of the lawmakers that sees to other countries' affairs in UN. She's a Fulani. It was Tinubu, rather, the late Buhari, that brought her into power. So this woman has actually been blocking everything that we are doing. If Mazi Nnamdi Kanu sent letter of genocide going on in Biafran land, in the whole of Southeast, this woman will block it. This woman was the reason why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been suffering and Biafrans have been suffering. Because anything that comes from Nigeria, anything that Tinubu and the late Buhari said, this woman will block it and defend them against it. Now Mazi Nnamdi Kanu started saying no, that it is Biafra or nothing. What did they do? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did not carry gun. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did not unalive anybody. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu followed the template of other UN charter in succeeding from a nation. And they kidnapped him. They kidnapped him from Kenya and unlawfully jailed him, because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was never subjected to any trial. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was subjected to intimidation, harassment, embarrassment, and humiliation. That is what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu went through in the hands of Nigeria. And this is the reason why we cannot allow Nigeria to exist on our soil anymore. Now, the other day, on Wednesday, which was on, I think on the 17th of this month, the Nigerian terrorist government brought out Boko Haram, 744 Boko Harams, that they have repented, and they have gone through a good peace. They have spoken to them. They are now rehabilitating them back to the society. Now, you cannot find where that happens in the southeast, which Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has never been linked to any terrorism in Nigeria. It is only the Nigerian state that links Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to terrorism. The world where Mazi Nnamdi Kanu operates from sees Mazi Nnamdi Kanu as a hero and as a freedom fighter, only in Nigeria. Now, reintegrating terrorists to our army, to the Nigerian army, reintegrating terrorists to the Nigerian army, what do you think that those people are going to come and do? They are going to the southeast to kill the Christians. I'm saying it on live TV. They are coming to the southeast to unalive the Christians. And that is why you can see today, General Christopher Musa is no more talking. Today, all the people who are meant to speak, people like Ayo Adeboye, they are not speaking because they know the agenda of this government. Now, the governor of the what is he called now? Let me leave that governor. The vice president of Nigeria, Kasim Shettima, is a terrorist. Everybody in Nigerian government as we speak today, they are all terrorists. And I'll give you proof. In 2011, Kabiru Sokoto was found in government lodge, in Shettima's lodge, in government lodge. Kabiru Sokoto was a man who bombed a Catholic church around Sokoto. Iran was found in President Vice President Kasim Shettima's house, lodge in Sokoto, or wherever they found him in Abuja. Isa Pantami said to us, Boko Haram should be treated like human. They should be given amnesty the way they are giving amnesty to what is it called, to the Niger Deltas. These are the people managing your country, including the drug lord Tinubu. So why I said Tinubu does not have the power to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is this: the people behind the terrorism and takeover of our country, Nigeria, are the Muslims, because they want to Islamize that country. These are the Sokoto Caliphate, and that is why the humiliation came. That from that place that you think that you are, we will bring you down. After jailing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, bring him to Sokoto so that we will reduce him to nothing. Before time passes, people will forget about him. And that is why they are doing to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So whether you think, that is why up to tomorrow, Tinubu has not mentioned anything Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from his mouth. But who jailed Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? They will tell you it's Tinubu. Who made it possible for Tinubu to jail Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? It's Sultan of Sokoto and Gumi. You remember when Gumi came out and said, if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu can denounce Biafra, that they will forgive him, he will forgive him. Remember, he said something like that. And this is where you begin to ask yourself, why is this man not in prison? They own your country. They run your country. Forget all these things that you people are doing. Oh, Nigeria is going to be good. We are going to fight for Nigeria. Oh, PVC is coming. Oh, we want our electoral act to be signed. Those things ain't going to happen. They want to Islamize your country called Nigeria. They want to Islamize that country. Those things ain't coming. They ain't coming. The agenda of these people is to take over your country called Nigeria. Remember, Tinubu has gone to Turkey to discuss with their military. And now their military are now coming to your country to have a military base. Why was that possible? Because this is their agenda. So if you think that Tinubu is going to use Mazi Nnamdi Kanu for his election, it is not going to happen. It is not all about Tinubu. The people that are rubbishing Nigeria today is Sultan of Sokoto and Gumi. If these people are not taken away, Biafrans will never have freedom. If these people are not taken away, we will never stand as a nation, because they will continue to lobby. They will continue to use their influence and power to fight Biafrans, to fight our nation. They have to be arrested. They have to be removed. You see Sultan of Sokoto, you see Ahmed Gumi. These two people, these two giants. Now, if Gumi can come out and tell you. The military knows these bandits, these terrorists by their names, and knows their location, and even give me escorts to go into the forest with them. And Gumi is still walking freely. What do you think will happen? Nothing, absolutely nothing is going to happen. Gumi can never be arrested. They are the people that they have given money to Islamize you in the country, and they will stop at nothing from doing that. That is the simple truth I'm telling you today. Go and check these things. They have sworn an oath to take over Nigeria. They have sworn an oath to take over Nigeria. And that is why they are reintegrating their brothers into the military. That is why they can give their brother amnesty. That is why they can reintegrate them into the society after committing crimes upon crimes. But look at Biafrans all over the country have been locked away without pardoning them, without giving them listening ear, without giving them pardon. Why? Because they were never part of the plan. The people part of the plan that is going to help them to capture Nigeria are these people that they are reintegrating back to your society. That is why they send them to Christian community. That is why they send them to Christian community to take away lives. You can see what is going on. The conspiracy. Now Amnesty International is not talking. UN is quiet because we have somebody like somebody Muhammad that is, pushing away every document that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Simon Eber, and people that it might concern have sent to UN. Amina Yusuf. Her name is Amina Yusuf. Very evil woman. She has been the one fighting this Biafra from UN, making sure that the documentation does not get to the right table, that the documentation of Biafra is not looking to. That is why Nigeria can come to Biafran land and massacre anybody, destroy lives and property, and they will walk away with it without the UN calling them to account. That is why Buhari placed her there, so that Buhari can carry out his genocide, Buhari can carry out his murderous activity, and after that, nobody arrested Buhari. According to them, that Buhari was still alive. Nobody called for his arrest. Nobody sanctioned his government. And Tinubu came in and took over from where Buhari stopped and continued what Buhari stopped, where he stopped. And he believes that nobody is going to ask him questions. Why? Because Sultan of Sokoto is behind this whole evil happening in Biafran land. The Sultan of Sokoto, for Nigeria to be good, that man has to go down. For Nigeria to be good, people like Gumi has to go down. If not, all this your shout on the street of Lagos, on the street of Abuja will not work. These people are ready for you. The more you are planning, the more they are planning against you. The more you are planning, the more they are planning against you. Tinubu knows he's fighting for election in 2027, and today is bringing military from another country to come and have base in Nigeria. Are you people not calculating what I'm saying? Are you people not getting the logic? You should stop being a fool. You should stop being used. Nigeria is not going to work. Not in a million years, I'm telling you. The only solution for Nigeria to work is division. When Goodluck was in power, that Goodluck went all out for military, for these terrorists. You could see what Buhari said. That Goodluck, the fighting of insurgents, the fighting of terrorism is based on only the military in the Muslim land. That is where they are telling you now Obi is coming. When Obi start fighting, let's assume that Obi wins the presidential seat. Obi start fighting this military. They will tell you, oh, Obi left the southeast and start fighting the northerners. They start unaliving the northerners. It will become a clash again. And that is why we can no longer coexist as a nation. Because nobody will do it and get it right. Jonathan tried it. They went all out. They used Showore. They used all manner of people to come against Jonathan. Tinubu now that is inside. Because the Muslims, the northerners had an agenda. They have an agenda of Islamizing you. That is why they are not talking much. That is why nobody is talking from the north much. Because that agenda must be accomplished. Some of you don't understand what I'm saying. I think I'm talking in parables. You don't understand what is going on. Some of you don't understand what is going on at all. If you understand the agenda that this government have, that is why they can send Tinubu. That is why they can send him, okay, go and speak for us. Go and get military equipment. And then Tinubu will go. Tinubu, your president, is not in charge. People that are in charge is Sultan of Sokoto. They are the one that placed Tinubu in power. Whether you cry from now to next year, Tinubu will be your president in 2027. It doesn't change anything. Whether you like it or you leave it. This is my honest truth I'm telling you today. Whether you like, go out on the street, fool the whole road. The only way that these people can stop this evil, Sultan of Sokoto is, America has warned Gumi by striking his house. That is the warning shot for him. But he doesn't understand. Because America understands what you and I don't know. That is why the first military airstrike to Nigeria was in Sokoto. That is why you see Gumi now is being careful. Talking against the United States of America. Now they sent Tinubu to Turkey. Go to Turkey. Go to Turkey and negotiate. Bring the military because they are Muslims. But America said their Muslims, their military is coming. No, they came to steal. They came to take your uranium and oil. This is the conflict and confusion they want to put on your head, so that you believe that America is coming for their own common interest. And your land is being taken. And you can no longer go to school. And your people cannot have basic amenities. And you cannot live like humans. Why Sultan of Sokoto is there to Islamize the country? Go and look at all the nairas you spend. It is written in Arabic. Why? Because they have this agenda to take over. That is why unaliving is going on everywhere in the north. Anywhere that there is Christian community in the north, these Muslims, this Sokoto Caliphate man will send his boys to go and destroy them. That is why they have these journalists, they have paid them, they have done everything they have done so that they will remain relevant. While you are speaking, they will come after you. That is why Finland can compromise, because there is enough billions to spend to make sure they help you to achieve this their evil agenda in Nigeria. That is why Sultan of Sokoto is quiet. He's giving instructions to Tinubu. That is why when Tinubu is doing it, you will never hear Tinubu talk about Nnamdi Kanu. Why? Because he's not in charge. Why? Because he has been given order. Jail him and bring him to us. We will punish him. We are going to make life miserable for him. And indeed, they are making that life miserable for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Why the world watch on? Why the world is quiet? If Biafran begins their madness, listen, they will come and start fighting. Oh, Biafrans are terrorists. Biafrans are terrorists. Now we are warning that they should release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to us, because they are quietly poisoning Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to death. And the world is quiet. People like Amnesty International are quiet. People like the UN are quiet. Everybody that is meant to speak are quiet. United States is quiet. United Kingdom is quiet. People like Finland that kidnapped and jailed Simon is quiet. Why? Because of their evil agenda. Christians can no longer breathe in Biafran land. You know how many people that they steal at night. You know how many people that they remove at night. None of you do. Some families are no longer living in some part of villages in Biafran land as we speak, most especially Enugu. Go to Enugu. There are villages you can no longer enter because Fulanis have taken over some of the villages. And why the world keeps on watching? But Simon Ekpa can be jailed and be called a terrorist. You can see how they protect their own. You can see how they manage their own. If not the wicked and silly statements that Gumi has made, who has gone for Gumi? Who has gone for Gumi's head? But when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu speaks, they say, bring him. And remember, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu never carried a gun. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu never arrested anybody. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu never kidnapped anyone. Mazi Nnamdi has never killed anyone. But look at all the people that have been unalive people, has destroyed lives and property, destroyed family, tied and eyed a baby, destroyed homes. They are being integrated back to the society. They are being given pardon. Why Biafrans are languishing in different prisons in Nigeria, and you want to call us one Nigeria, and you want us to be one Nigeria. Some of you don't have brain, and some of you will come and be writing, oh, you are in abroad, come back to do what, really? To do what? Come back to a wicked country. The other day I was talking and my son said, I want to go to Nigeria. I said, God forbid, over your dead body can you step your foot in Nigeria. That is how I hate Nigeria. That is how bad I, Rose, hate Nigeria. Nigeria cannot work, will not work. Nigeria unalives their citizens. It is not a place my children can step their foot in. A terrible country indeed. Terrible country. My son was craving, so I want to go. Can you imagine? Because he's still an infant. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He doesn't know anything. And he said he wants to. You can imagine, he said, I want to visit my country. I said, you can't. Not on my watch. Not on my watch. This is who they are. They have done these things to destroy Nigeria, to finish you people. Some people are there talking, oh, we want our election to count. We want our votes to count. We want this to count. And they are busy taking over your country. Look at the whole terror. Can you kill one terrorist in Nigeria and get away with it? No, you can't. What about Sunday Jackson that defended himself in his own land? The country went after him and jailed him for life. Somebody that defended himself. Oh, hey, this is how Nigeria works. Somebody that defended, if it was not the intervention of American people that Sunday Jackson had his free, do you think they will release him? A man that is on his own, in his own farm, to farm, and guess what he's going to give to the children and to the family to eat? They went there in attempt to unalive him. He was able to subdue them and unalive them. They went after the one that protected his own life. And you think Nigeria will be good? Some of you are very gullible. You don't think. You think somehow Obi will come. Yes, Obi is coming. Obi 2027. Obi will do everything. I don't blame all of you that is doing this nonsense because you don't know what we know. I don't blame you. Nigeria can never be good. If Obi come, Obi cannot dare fight insecurity. You don't know. You don't know how prepared these people is. You don't know. Because of the tension, how Nigeria is boiling, they might decide, okay, let us just subside the whole noise everywhere and just push this to Obi and we will continue to take over. And you think Obi will carry gun and go and unalive one terrorist. And the Southeast will not be on fire. I don't know. I don't understand how just use Jonathan's own as an example. Use Jonathan's own as an example. Go back to history. Go and study. Go and make researches. Your vice president said when terrorists were being unalive under Goodluck Jonathan, Shetima said they should not be unalive the way they had been unalive. They should be handled with care. That they are all human beings. Remember, the same vice president, Kabiru Sokoto, a man that has unalive Christians left, right, and center, was found in his lodge. Those are your people. What of Isap Antoni? What about Isap Antoni? Who was defending and, embracing the terrorists and insulting IPOP, calling IPOP all manner of names, writing rubbish, telling you IPOP is your problem, and you are believing these animals. You are believing them. These are terrorist sympathizers. These are people who were funding terrorists. Tinubu's government is funding terrorists. Former governor of Kaduna State, El-Rufai, said it. He said it, and they didn't challenge that in court. They never challenged him. And then somehow Nigeria is going to get better. You think Nigeria is going to get better, and I'm here wasting my time? You think do you think I'm not young enough to come to Nigeria and flex my life? They do big boy, carry my shoulder up. Do you think so? No. I'm too young to do this thing I'm doing. But I have to, because all our people that are doing it, they have gagged all of them. Where is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu today? Nobody speaks the truth again on the internet. When you come on the internet, it's money here, money there, money there. Deceiving Biafrans. Deceiving our brothers and sisters everywhere. Telling you Biafra is not in the clear, just like Ogekere is doing. Just like Adadio Arama, that idiot in France is doing. That fool that has no brain. Just like Ruby Nadi, just like Imam Madabu. All of them are all deceivers, deceptful people, lying to Biafrans. None of them can come and speak the truth. None of them can tell you the truth. Everything about them is money, 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 donation, 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 money. And that is why we came out. I cannot stand and watch our people being maltreated the way they are being maltreated. No. Look at what they are doing to Nnamdi Kanu today. Look at what they are doing to him. And somehow some of you think it's going to be good. No, it's not going to be good. It's never going to get any better. It's never going to get any better. It's not going to get any better. Sultan of Sokoto has a mission in Nigeria to take over. That is why he brought Mazi Nnamdi Kanu close to him. What about Bello Tunji? Why did they not call him a terrorist? What about Bello Matawali? What about Bello Matawali? No, these people are not terrorists. IPOBs are all terrorists. They are not. People that have never been linked to terrorism, those are the people that are terrorists in Nigeria. And then somebody will sit down here and tell me that Obi is coming in 2020. Are you people not dumb? Mazi Simon did this exposition in 2023. You called him Wakuda. You called him all manner of them. You even said that Tinubu was paying him to do what he's doing. Did you people not say so? You don't know what is coming. The earlier, the better you join the USB government, the better for all of you.
Oh yes. This our brother Rose. You all have seen what he say and how things is happening and things is going in Nigeria. The agenda of the Sultan of Sokoto, his plan towards Islamization of Nigeria, how he wants to use to conquer every zone and the main people who is ruling Nigeria, and the main reason why Tinubu is on pressure, heavy pressure from them everywhere. So he's confused, he don't know what to say. So he has already said everything the way it is. So there is no need of still explaining much. The country we live, everybody is seeing it. They will say fire. There is a very heavy fire on the mountain, very very serious fire. There's leaders who don't understand. Will wait, let people tell them what is going on. So there is heavy fire. If you are living in Nigeria or you are living somewhere else or somehow, and you are claiming that Nigeria is safe, I don't know the type of thing that will tell you, and the type of God that will pay you for the evil. Because you see armless people, you see mother, you see children, you see father being slaughtered every day in the country. You see the commander in chief of armies being by every day in this country without anybody speaking, without the government taking action. And you go, you see churches burning, father being killed, kidnapped, destroy many things every day. And at the end, somebody will tell you that Nigeria is free and nothing is happening, that everywhere is okay. And the international body that need to speak up, like the ECOWAS, the AU, the UN, the other international body that need to rise up against this thing that is happening in the country, that will just be silent because of the government of Nigeria is paying them to silence their mouths, and also they are waiting for their own gain, their resources. If you can look very well, Nigeria is I would say the most rich country in terms of mineral resources. There is no type of mineral resources you will not get in this country. But what is there is that the leaders, what we have is wicked, corrupt, evil, and demonic leaders. Those who don't know their right and their left, who demon and whom, in fact, the heart is being bound by dark and by evil. That is why you see the country is not developing. And anybody who rise up to speak against those evil that is happening, the next thing they will cage you or they will even buy you so that you will not see the light of the day anymore. In fact, a lot is going on. I would like to hear your comment. I mean, what do you think about the whole thing happening in Nigeria? Like, subscribe, and share it for everyone to see things going on in Nigeria. I would say thank you for watching.